Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 4 to 5. I think we're on a first name basis now, don't you think?
We all know each other.
It's Eric, Lauren, and Stacy. That's all you need to know.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome, welcome. Whether you're watching us on air, online, Roku, Fire Stick, or the WFNY News 2 app. And you know the drill, also on Facebook, where a lot of people are buzzing about children ages 5 to 11. They are getting vaccinated across the triad. Parents are wondering how and where to get their kids vaccinated. In the bottom right corner of your screen, you'll see a QR code.
And all you have to do is scan that code, and you'll get a link to locations where the vaccine is being offered to kids. State officials say more than 460,000 pediatric doses are going out in waves over the next few weeks. One Triad mom who took her daughter to get vaccinated this morning at Lamont Health said this will help get kids closer to a normal life.
We really just want them to have this extra layer of protection, to be around their friends and family and have, you know, the confidence that we've done all the things that we should do, so they can go enjoy things also. You know, they want to do dance and play sports.
It's not scary at all. It just feels like a tiny poke and then it's over with, and then you can do everything you want.
Children will get 1/3 of the dose an adult would get, but they still need 2 rounds of the Pfizer shot. Children may experience mild symptoms after getting the vaccine, like muscle aches and fatigue. If you don't know how to use a QR code, you can also text the word KIDS to 336-379-5775. We'll send you a link to all of the available appointment locations in the triad.
The Biden administration implemented a new emergency standard for businesses with at least 100 employees to either mandate COVID vaccines for workers or require weekly testing. The emergency temporary standard will be enforced by the Labor Department's Occupational Safety and Health Administration. The White House estimates this new requirement will impact more than 80 million workers. Under the policy, employers must choose either full vaccination or weekly testing for employees within 30 days. By January 4th, companies need to put that rule into place. If employers don't follow the standard, they could face fines up to $14,000 for each. Yes, each employee. Right now, it's unclear if the employer or employee will be charged for weekly testing. Britain approved Merck's coronavirus antiviral medication as the first pill shown to successfully treat COVID-19. Britain licensed the pill for adults 18 and older who tested positive for COVID and have at least one risk factor or developing severe disease. The pill is meant to be taken twice a day for 5 days by people with mild to moderate symptoms. Merck submitted their research to the FDA for approval. The FDA will review the data later this month.
Well, one of our state's coronavirus metrics doing really well right now. Our graph shows the percentage of tests that are coming back positive. The latest number is 4.4%. That is below the red line. Now, that's the state's goal right there of 5%. And actually, most of our recent days have been below that line. That's good news there. 10 of the last 14 days have been below the line. Keep in mind, the state wants us to be at or below that for 2 consecutive weeks. Lately, we've been only able to string together about 5 days below the line.
The sneezing, coughing, and runny nose. No, it's not COVID-19, just the common cold. And for many of us, including myself, it's been a while since we've had that kind of crud, right? Experts say fewer people came down with colds or even the flu in 2020 thanks to social distancing, masks, and increased cleanings. But with kids back to school, many people back to work, relaxed COVID-19 guidelines, and more people traveling, bring on the Dayquil. Dr. Cynthia Snyder with Cone Health says they've seen an uptick of respiratory illnesses in their urgent cares and emergency rooms. She says because symptoms are so closely related to COVID-19, it's recommended you get tested.
You shouldn't blow off your symptoms, and disregard them and think that it's just a seasonal cold. Because if it's not, you have that risk of exposing many more people in your family, your coworkers, maybe your kids like daycare or classmates. And so it's still very important to get tested.
If you do test negative for COVID and have the common cold, it's really up to your immune system to fight it off. Dr. Snyder says staying rested and hydrated with some help from over-the-counter medication should do the trick. She says if you can, stay home and keep your kids home from school. As far as prevention goes, she says to wash your hands, wear a mask, and make sure you wipe down surfaces.
We know that masks work, not just for COVID, but other respiratory illnesses. And especially as it gets colder, people are going to stay indoors more, and so and maybe indoors with other folks that they don't know their vaccine status. So it's still very important to wear a mask.
I asked you to tell me your best home remedies for colds. Freddie says drink pineapple juice to lessen the coughing. A lot of people said pineapple juice. I didn't know that trick. Charlie says he's made homemade soup and adult cold medicine, which is a certain drink that starts with a W, whiskey. Lisa uses Zarbee's elderberry gummies and Zicam, usually knocks colds right out. Derek suggested peppermint essential oil in a bowl of steamed water. You stand over it and breathe it in with a towel drooping over the back of your head. It releases the sinuses and pressure, and whiskey with honey and lemon for the cough. Warm Dr. Pepper with honey and lemon always helps Lori, and Paul wrote Vicks Vapor Rub, which I have to say I use, and guess what, guys? It was invented right here in Greensboro.
I did not
off
know
of Elm
that.
Street, yes. It's been around. I mean, that's been around for probably more than 100 years.
Yeah.
I think at this point.
Well, I just learned something new today because my mom actually had us put it on our chest and even a little
Yes.
bit on our
Like right
nose
here?
whenever we were sick. So it's some good stuff.
I
It
remember,
does
and
work.
there's a liquid form, or there was, I'm not sure if they still make it or not, that when my little ones were little and we had to do humidifiers in the room, you could pour it in the little chamber in the front of the mist, and it would do that mist up to open them up. Like if they're sleeping, you need the humidifier overnight.
As much as I hate it, the neti pot, have y'all ever used
Yes,
one of those?
I've done that.
They work so well, but I just hate that feeling of,
Feel like
you
you're drowning.
lean over and
Yeah.
it's just like, and if some of it gets in the back of your throat.
No. I tested it
fun.
one time here at the station. They mailed me one. I said, I just want to see what this is like. I went out in the parking lot and did it. And I was like,
Just like we're drowning in the
well, you have to
parking
get
lot.
used to it. Once
Okay.
you adjust,
Yeah.
it's fine, but it's a weird feeling.
It is.
Have you all noticed that within the last year and a half or so, at least for myself, I usually get one really bad cold a year, and I haven't, knocked on wood, gotten a
Because
cold
everybody's
yet.
more careful now.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
of COVID, I think.
I think the only reason why I even have one now is because Baylor started daycare, my daughter, and she got a little congested, which is expected
Yeah.
with being around all these kids for the first time in her life. And of course she gave it to
You
me.
wait. You get everything they get, that's for sure.
Lovely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of colds, it's cold enough in the mountains for snow. Take a look at that. This video of snowfall in Yancey County was shared with us by a Twitter follower. A system is moving through the mountains where they'll see their first snow tonight in the higher elevation areas. This same system passed through the Triad this morning. So students at
Oh, we're going to talk about our forecast right now, because that makes me jealous, because I would love to have gotten up there and seen a little bit of that snow so we could see what we have. I'm going to step out of the way, take a look. The camera right now we're kind of seeing a mixed bag, right? Some clouds and a mix of some clear skies here or there. All the rain is starting to exit, but when you look at the temperatures here, I'll move 42 in Greensboro. We're up to looks like 44 in Winston-Salem. And then you can see 45 for Reedsville as well. Overall, these temperatures, I mean, this is cool for this time of the year, right? I think Tim and I were discussing in the weather office, it's like 10 to 20 degrees below normal for some areas. And look at these overnight lows tonight. We do clear out, and that's already started, by the way. Gradually, we'll see that clearing. By midnight, we're at 35 degrees and hovering in the mid 30s for a little bit. There's that rain we talked about exiting the area. It's kind of pushing off to the east. The clouds are a little more stubborn back behind that, but again, over the next 3 or 4 hours, things will clear out. Now, you see the low pressure that's working its way back up the coast there. That throws back a little moisture our way, but we're in good shape. Have to worry about this frost. Remember, there's this freeze and frost warning for tonight for most of the Triad, and technically it's really toward the morning hours that we look for that, but that is in effect. Here comes another low right up the coast. Saturday, most of the rain will be coastside. By the way, not a good time to go to the coast, but then as we head into Sunday, it looks like we'll start to clear out again. Freeze warning again tonight with that 32-degree overnight low, a high tomorrow of 53, chilled sunshine, as we like to say. And same story on Saturday, 53 degrees. Don't forget, we turn the clocks back on Saturday evening overnight, and then sunny on Sunday and 62, and we go back to the low 70s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You're looking at overnight lows being chilly, not chilly, that's cold, right? Right at the freezing mark Friday and Saturday mornings, but then we're back to the mid 40s and maybe some low 50s for lows by the middle of next week.
Make sure you bundle up. Well, students at Weaver Academy were remote today after a car crashed into a building. Take a look at this. This is the second time in a month this has happened. Greensboro City officials say a driver crashed into the school early this morning and was charged with DWI. Officials add this is the fourth crash since the summer at the intersection of Washington Street and Spring Street. Because of the number of traffic incidents, city leaders met with groups to look at options for safety improvements. The city said the Department of Transportation repainted the intersection markings and street posts will be installed. Other additions the city hopes to make include new traffic signage with reflective lights. The city says from 2016 up to this year, there were 18 crashes in the area leading up to today's crash, but none of those crashes resulted in cars hitting the buildings until this year.
Winston-Salem police are investigating a crash involving a stolen car. 3 teenagers were injured in the crash last night. Police say they saw a car that had been reported stolen near Northwest Boulevard and Oak Street. Officers tried to stop the car, but the driver sped off before hitting a tree on North Cherry and West 20th Streets. The driver got out and ran, leaving the 3 teens inside the car hurt. They were taken to the hospital and are expected to be okay. Police are still searching for the driver. Any information about the crash can be reported to Crime Stoppers by calling 336-773-7700.
A section of Highway 52 South was closed for most of the day in Winston-Salem for an investigation, but has since reopened. Police shut down the section at Salem Parkway early this morning and reopened it late this afternoon. Police will not release further information on the closure, but will bring you updates on air and online as soon as we get new details. We'll be
Well, it looks like quarterback Aaron Rodgers will not take the field on Sunday when the Packers kick off against the Chiefs after testing positive for COVID-19. Now, the Packers confirmed that backup QB Jordan Love will start Sunday night. Unvaccinated players in the NFL who test positive have to quarantine for 10 days even if they're asymptomatic. Now, vaccinated players can return to the field as soon as they show 2 negative tests within 24 hours of each other if they're asymptomatic. Now, that means that Aaron Rodgers would have a chance to play Sunday, but with the Packers' decision to start Love, it signals that Rodgers must be unvaccinated. Now, back in August, he stated that he was, quote, immunized, he said, when he asked if he was vaccinated against COVID. ESPN reports that Rodgers accepted an alternative type of treatment against COVID and then petitioned the NFL to recognize that treatment as vaccinated, but the NFL refused. This has been the chat online for sports outlets like all day long. And there's also, you know, Rodgers wasn't happy. He said he didn't want to play for the Packers, and there's been this contentious relationship with the Packers and him all season. So to me, by putting Love in is two signals for me. It says that, hey, you know, you're not vaccinated, we're going to start him. You put the team at risk, you know. And I think they may kind of be over Rodgers. It sees what we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
It's all about making sure that everybody is safe, and if there's certain guidelines in place, you have to follow them.
I wonder if this affects his stock with other teams, because he'll look for another job, and you know, he's expensive.
Yeah, I mean, anytime something like this is in the headlines, you have people on both sides of the issue. I mean, we saw a lot of things happen, you know, with Cam Newton. People were talking about that. So we'll just see what happens. It'll be interesting to find out.
What do you think about it? Let us know on Facebook.
Yeah, it's going to get cold tonight, folks. This is way below normal for us this time of the year. Look at this overnight low at 32 degrees. So we have a freeze warning in effect for much of the triad, and that means we'll stay at that temperature for a few hours. In the overnight periods, obviously, we watch out for the plants and pets too, bring them inside. We'll check on all that. Tomorrow, though, chilly, mostly sunny. We'll see the clearing. It's actually started as we speak, but that high of 53, that is a cool high temperature in some cases, 20 degrees below normal for some folks this time of the year. You can see the rain starting to exit. Cloud cover a little bit stubborn back behind it, but it's hanging in there for a little bit. Again, most of this exits our area in the next few hours, and then we just see clear and cold conditions in the overnight period. Now, here's what it looks like on the surface chart. That low is moving away. The winds combined with that high pressure to the north and around the low, it's funneling everything in out of the north to northeast, and that ushers in that cold air. So we do have to watch out for frost, and then again that freeze warning as well in the overnight hours. This next system comes up from the south. It's kind of a coastal low. Not a good day to be at the beach, and that'll be a windy, rainy day as you head into the weekend. That's for Saturday. And for us, the rain may or may not reach us. You might see a little bit here or there. We'll keep a 20% chance in just in case, but it's still cool at 53. Sunday clearing out in 62. Don't forget the clocks go back this weekend, Saturday night. And then 68 to 71. The range of highs with sunny to partly cloudy skies for most of next week.
Well, we're getting closer to Thanksgiving, and I want to know, how much do you love Thanksgiving food? Do you love it enough to eat it as an ice cream? Well, an ice cream company, Salt and Straw, is launching a Thanksgiving flavored line of ice creams as part of the Friendsgiving series. Flavors include caramelized turkey and cranberry sauce, Parker House rolls with salted buttercream, candied walnut cheesecake, sweet potato pie, pumpkin, and ginger snap pie. The company will ship all 5 flavors to your home in pints when you order yours online.
Turkey ice cream, now that's unique. Well, today just got a little sweeter. It is National Candy Day. While many of us do enjoy a piece from time to time, I took to Facebook and asked what your least favorite candy is and why. Jeff Griffith says orange slices because they taste like a sweet orange crayon, allegedly. Hashtag terrible. Joe Nappy wrote black licorice for the win, no explanations necessary. Brett Kim says gummy bears. I mean, who would eat a baby bear? And then Marcia Day said anything with coconut. I kind of agree with that. I like coconut cookies and pies and things like that, but I don't like almond joys. I always try to trade those, or those are left at the bottom of the bag.
I love the hashtag terrible. Though.
Yeah, hashtag terrible.
That's Charles Barkley right there. Oh, guys, terrible. That's what that reminds me of.
You know, I'm probably going to get some hate for this, but I do not like Reese's peanut butter cups.
We can't be friends.
I'm stumbling.
No, I like Reese's
Pieces. You can't be
Pieces.
on this show if you don't like Reese's.
I like Reese's Pieces. And I can handle the mini Reese's peanut butter cups, but the big ones, I don't know. I'm just not like a big peanut butter chocolate fan.
Gosh, that's
I know.
one of my
I
favorites.
know.
Mine
Oh
too.
my
I have
gosh.
some in my work desk right now.
I know a lot of people that don't like coconut though, which I
Yeah.
love coconut. I love coconut cream pie. I love. So do you like that?
I like the Girl Scout cookies, the Samoas that have
Yeah.
the. I like that. I could do it in like a crust on like a key lime pie or something, but I don't like them just shredded up and mushed together in chocolate.
Is it the texture of
Yeah,
the
that
coconut?
It just
texture is kinda
doesn't taste
weird.
that sweet to me. It just
Yeah.
tastes like shredded paper.
Yeah.
It
What
does.
about you,
I don't
Eric?
Least favorite is probably, and my dad used to love these things, those Necco wafers. I bet you guys have never even seen those.
Oh, gosh, you don't like those?
Are they like
They're
a
like
sweet
little
candy and
discs.
you can? Yeah, it's a circle. You can bite
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah, my dad loved those things, and I never liked them very much. I don't hate them,
Yeah.
but I'll eat it, but it's not something I pick.
I had a roommate in college that actually loved those.
Oh, my dad used to. He
She
loved
would
them.
keep them in her purse.
You have to find an antique candy store to find those things
You
anymore.
know which candy I can never find in the store, but they're always at like our grandparents' houses? Those little watermelon candies in the package. They're everywhere, but
yeah.
I've never seen them
In the
in the
wrappers
store.
that
yeah,
look like
yeah.
Where do you
watermelons,
buy
yes.
those at?
I don't
I've
know.
never seen them in the
Those
store.
are so
before.
good, though.
And every grandparent has a bowl of candy.
Why is
what
that
what
a
is that?
thing?
Something.
Soft mints, something.
Yes, which I love. Buttermints are good. I love those. All right, we digress. We're coming right back. Stay there.
Today on U Day, Coach Lamont helps us put the focus back on ourselves by first focusing on the power of who we are and what we can become.
My friend, you no longer have to be a mystery to yourself. We spend so much time trying to figure ourselves out that our wondering, it leaves us stagnant and we find ourselves doing absolutely nothing. There are so many who are going through the motions of life without experiencing life. We are not the living dead. Don't become a zombie, allowing life to sway you like a leaf in the wind. Bring control and clarity to your life, and control will become your greatest force. If there are things not understood about who you are, solve the mystery. Put on your detective hat and get on the case. Bring to justice the elements in this world that try to knock you off the game anyway. This is your time. This is your moment, so live like it. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best U Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
What you got for us today, Papa Chilton?
Cue the Rocky theme. When he starts talking, I want to hear that. I'll tell you what I have today is the fact that rumor is he may come visit us next week.
Ooh.
Maybe on Tuesday. Yes.
Coach Lamont?
Coach Lamont, not confirmed.
Okay.
Not confirmed yet, but we hear that maybe Tuesday is when he's hoping to stop by if he can.
Okay.
So
Oh
we'll
my
see.
gosh, I'd
Well,
love
come
to
on
meet
over
him.
to the 4 to 5, Coach Lamont. We'd love to hear
I
from
wish he
you.
would come in live with. I think I'm going to get a chance to do a quick little interview with him.
Okay.
Oh, that
We'll
would be
talk to him.
awesome.
I want to talk to him about his personal life too, because he's got a story. That's why he does this. You know.
Yeah.
He's revealed that in some of the
yeah.
other segments.
Great message today too about learning who you are. I feel like I'm constantly learning about myself even at my big age today, and it really is a process. I think we never stop learning about ourselves.
I thought, really, I'll be honest with you, the only part that I really registered with that, he said, don't walk around like a zombie, and I just feel like that is my current state of mind all day, every day.
gosh.
You
Because
know?
you have a 3-month-old, 4-month-old.
Now 4-month-old.
4-month-old, yes.
But she used to sleep through the night, and I don't know what it is recently, and she's not sleeping through the night, so I am currently a zombie. Like
She
I'm just
said-
walking like this all day.
She said, Mom's back at work. Watch this. Let's see how this works.
Joke's on you, Mom.
We'll take a break. We're coming back. Stay there. More of the 4 to 5 straight ahead.
Hi, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together like a classic combination.
Welcome back. I'm Lauren Coleman here with Stacy Spivey and Eric Tilton. And guys, guess what? Today is Friday Eve.
Praise you, Jesus.
I'll take it.
We're supposed to be
I'll
excited
take
about
it.
it.
Yes, so excited about that, and so excited that you're joining us here on the 4 to 5 on WFMY News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFMY News 2 app for your TV, phone, or tablet.
And remember, we are live on the Facebook page, so come join us there. Cold start to the day here in the Triad, but it's even colder out in the mountains.
Yeah, Grandfather Mountain saw its first snow dusting this morning. The top half of the mountain is closed. Look at how beautiful that it is out there. But guests were able to go see the snowy mountains from the lower portion of the mountain.
Now that's a place that I would love to be this weekend. So Eric, snow lovers, they want to know, are we expecting snow here anytime soon?
That's right. Don't forget, snow is a 4-letter word here, isn't it? Let's see what's going on with our forecast. Not for everybody. Some kids absolutely love this. Forecast for us as we head into the next 24 hours. I mean, we're looking at temperatures that are, they were warm for a while, right? But as we head into the evening and the overnight hours, we're going to see temperatures right at the freezing mark. In fact, we have a freeze warning to talk about, which we don't usually talk about this early, but that's what's happening. 42 degrees in Greensboro, 43 in High Point, Reedsville 45. That low tonight right at the freezing mark, 32 degrees, mostly clear skies overnight. And the clearing, by the way, has already begun. Like we're starting to see the clouds exit to the east. That will be the case as we head into the night, and then the clear skies allow us to drop down quickly to 32. 53 tomorrow, so still chilly, mostly sunny. You get the idea when you look at the map here. A lot of the rain is exiting to the east. Still a couple little sprinkles, light showers here or there. That'll take a while for all of that to clear out. But the freeze warning is just about every county, not technically every, but if you go from Surrey County, Wilkes, and then all east, that's a freeze warning until tomorrow morning at about 11 a.m. So you want to cover those plants and make sure the pets are taken care of too. Counterclockwise winds around that low this way, and then clockwise around the high. All that funnels over us, and that's why we drop down so low tonight. That low takes the rain with it, and we're left with maybe some frost and then that freeze in effect. Low system comes in Saturday, but that stays to the coast. That low pressure system looks like most of the wind and rain will stay east of us, but we'll keep an eye on that too. We'll have a 7-day forecast coming up.
Eric, thank you. Just in time for cold season, children across the Triad are getting their first dose of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine today. If you're wondering how and where to get your kids vaccinated, in the bottom right corner of your screen right now, you'll see a QR code. Just scan that code and you'll get a link to locations where the kids' COVID-19 vaccine is being offered. State officials say more than 460,000 pediatric doses are going out in waves over the next few weeks. Children will get 1/3 of the dose an adult would get. They still need 2 rounds of the Pfizer shot. Children may experience mild symptoms after getting the vaccine, like muscle aches and fatigue.
Pandemic-related supply chain issues continue to wreak havoc on businesses across the country. Now, pharmacies are feeling the impact with dozens of prescription drugs on back order. For some patients, getting their hands on these medications is a matter of life or death.
Good morning. Thank you for calling Adler Pharmacy. How may I help you, please?
It's a big day for Adler Pharmacy in Greensboro.
We'll try our best to take care of our little kids.
A shipment for Pfizer's COVID vaccine for kids aged 5 to 11 came through the doors Thursday morning.
I already have appointments waiting, so it's a very nice day and I'm excited.
While COVID vaccines are in full supply, owner and pharmacist Clement Abudage says he's had trouble keeping other items in stock.
So many medications are waiting on back order. I have quite a few that I can't even get. If you get them at all, the prices are very high.
He's not alone. Supply chain issues causing delays is hitting pharmacies across the country. According to the FDA, more than 100 drugs are on back order, including antibiotics, diabetes, and cancer medications.
The good thing is that for most medications, you have alternatives. So it's not just if you don't get this, you die, but there are other alternatives that we can use.
But he says over-the-counter drugs like cough and cold medicine are in full supply.
Well, we are the last resort. You know, if they need anything, if they have questions, they can only contact the pharmacist and who will be there to find suggestions for them.
Supply chain issues aren't just affecting the distribution of medications, but essential medical supplies like walkers, wheelchairs, and crutches. So the big takeaway from this is not to panic just yet. He says if your medication is on back order, what they'll do is they'll call your doctor and try to find some type of alternative.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is, you're right, at the beginning you said it's a life or death. It is a life or death situation for some people if you don't get your meds on time.
Yeah, and I'd seen the stories about how they're having trouble finding crutches and things like that. So it's kind of crazy. Like, what are you going to do? And then I know this is not as big of a deal, but there's supply chain shortages on things like toys, and people are trying to order stuff for Christmas. It's just, it's a wild time we're living in.
It is, and I wonder, I mean, we've done story after story on this, but my head goes to, so how long until this fixes itself, you know?
I don't know. I don't know if we know that answer. I know that he was saying just hopefully they get this resolved soon, because he says it has been quite frustrating for pharmacists.
I bet, and for a lot of people out there.
Yep, true.
Well, another reason prescription drugs are so expensive, drug companies are paying big money on lobbying. The industry has spent nearly $263 million. Many of those dollars come in the form of campaign donations to members of Congress to shape legislation. Despite the lobbying, lawmakers are working on a plan to relieve the nation of high price tags on medications. A new compromise would allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices similar to private insurers and cap out-of-pocket costs at $2,000. The compromise would even set limits on insulin prices.
All right, if you're a parent, you know this scenario, right? Open the wallet, you're paying for something. And when your kid is in school, even through college, it's kind of expected that you will pay as a parent for things. But, when this happens, let's see it. If we've got it, if not, okay, there we go. When your kid is out of college, they've got their own job, maybe their own kids. Do you as a parent expect to be paying for things? I want you to check out this survey of 2,500 people. They asked, do you receive financial support from your parents? Of course, Gen Zers are the highest percentage, but that's expected, right? Most are in high school or college. 28% though of millennials say they get help from mom and dad, including living at home with mom and dad. 14% of Gen Xers get help with something, whether that be a car payment or rent or some help with bills. Okay, I can remember in my first job, my parents paying for my car insurance for the first couple of years because, well, when they looked at my paycheck, like that was not going to happen.
Yep.
And they were like, we're going to help you until you make a certain amount. So what do you think of these numbers of those people getting help?
I don't see it as a shock to me. My parents definitely helped me when I first started working, and just a couple years ago they stopped paying for certain bills because, you know, sometimes when you leave college you don't have an income.
Right.
So you have to have a way to get started. So I'm just thankful my parents did help me.
Yeah, I think for the
I'm in the
first
same
year-
boat, yeah.
Year or two, I think, you know, at least for me, I needed a little bit of help. My parents didn't have a whole lot. To be honest, my brothers and sisters are like 15 years to 18 years older than me. I would call them before I'd call mom and dad because they can help me.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely in that first job in journalism, you don't get paid a lot. But even to this day, even though my parents don't pay for anything, say I need a new dress or something just to be nice, my mom will say,
do
hey,
that.
here you go.
My mom loves to send the news dresses.
Yes.
Okay, so interesting side note about the Gen Zers. The majority said they still lived at home, and the bill that they most wanted help with was their cell phone bill. So Eric, can you relate?
Yeah, so my twins, you know, they're obviously I'm paying for their cell phone bill. What I had them do was pay for their car insurance when they were. So their job was to the work that they did. I think they worked at Chick-fil-A for a couple of years, and their thing was, you pay me for the car insurance because it's ridiculous. And then once you get in college, then now I take that over again because they got a lot of other expenses. But yeah, it was difficult. I understand the cell phone thing. You take their cell phone away, you might as well cut their arm.
Right. Yeah. Cell phone is it. All right, let me show you this next graphic because the question was, have your parents ever supported you financially as an adult? So we kind of had a little bit of this conversation. And there's everything from they helped me pay for college, they allowed me to live rent-free, they paid off some of my debt, or even they helped me with a down payment on a home. But look at the green line. That's at the very bottom. That is 44% say my parents never supported me in any way. And I'm actually surprised by that. Never, ever, ever in any way.
Makes you realize how blessed you are.
Yeah, that surprises me. I just know my parents, I know that if something were to happen, I could always lean on them.
It's true. I remember they paid for my college, so for me that was huge. I didn't understand how huge back then until my dad had a talk with me. But he said, here's what it costs, pal. But they didn't help me a lot after college, but I never thought that was a thing. I just thought I'm supposed to work and make it work.
Yeah, I mean, my grandmother actually is the one that helped us put our down payment on our home. So, I mean, and that's something right now I'm saving for Baylor to be able to have money in the future to do things like that.
Right, to do that, yeah.
All the furniture that I have in my apartment right now, when I first got my first news job, my parents bought all my furniture and they said, this is to get you started. So once you move into your own home, then you can buy your own furniture. So I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah, a lot of different ways to get help from the parents and the family. All right, I'm going to be putting that Magnify Money survey in the Two Wants to Know section if you want to check it out and look at it a little bit more closely. We'll be back.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The last time I was here was in 2020, February. I was supposed to open, didn't change. You don't have to hear me, no, I will hear everything. You hear everything.
Got married. Well, it's a big night at High Point University. It's opening night for the Cobain Center for both men's and women's basketball.
The court will be dedicated to Tubby Smith, and WFNY News 2's Amanda Ferguson is at the university for that dedication. Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Lauren and Stacey, the last time I was here was February 2020. I was giving you a tour of this place. It was set to open in the fall of that year, but change of plans, the pandemic hit, and that didn't happen until tonight. The Cobain Center is set to finally open. The High Point men's basketball team will be playing inside for the first time. Head coach Tubby Smith tells us his thoughts about it.
We've had to play with hanging baskets at Millis Center ever since I played here. So with the backboards where there are, the intimacy that this arena I think will bring, much like Millis did, but this is 4,500 seats. You're talking about, what, 3,000, close to 3,000 more seats. So it's a big change.
It's also a big night for Coach Tubby Smith. Other than playing inside the Cobain Center for the first time, the court is going to be named after him. That's going to happen right before tip-off, and the Panthers are set to play Mount Olive. Now, the interesting part about that is President Cobain went to school at Mount Olive, so he wanted to make sure opening night involved both of his schools. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m.
All right, from the hardwood to the turf. WFNY News 2 is giving Panthers fans the chance to win 2 tickets on 2. We have tickets up for grabs for 3 upcoming games.
Our first drawing was this week. Richard Brooks from Greensboro won tickets to this Sunday's game against the New England Patriots.
For our other upcoming drawings, first go to WFNYnews2.com. On the homepage, you'll see the story that says Play and Score Carolina Panthers tickets on WFNY News 2. Click that story. Once you're in, click on that hyperlink that says Play 2 tickets on 2 trivia here. There are 5 Panthers trivia questions. And what's nice about all this? You can play as many times as you like. The more you play, the better your chances are to win. For the next drawing, you have until 6:30 next Monday to win tickets to the Panthers game against the Washington football team on the 21st.
Once trivia closes, you'll need to watch WFNY News 2 at 11 next week to see who wins. This is the second of 4 ticket giveaways, so you'll have several chances to win. Log on to WFNYnews2.com and play Panthers trivia for your chance to win 2 tickets on 2. And don't worry, if you didn't win tickets for this Sunday's game, you can still watch it right here on News 2, your home of the Carolina Panthers.
This is so fun. I heard a lot of people have been participating in this online.
So, and this is the type of thing, because if a lot of people, I mean, let's face it, it can be cost prohibitive to go to an NFL game. They're expensive, right? Even getting down there to Charlotte. So this is your perfect way to go save a few bucks and have a good time. And I will tell you from experience, the periphery around the football stadium, with all, there are radio stations doing live remotes there. There's, you know, lots of restaurants and bars that set up. There are tailgating groups that rent parking spaces, huge parking space. It's a blast. You could go down there, have a good time, and never go in to see the game.
I still want to see that animated panther that's like bouncing around the stadium. You saw when we were in the story about that, right?
I remember hearing about
that. It's like a hologram, and it like bounces
Really?
around the stadium. Chad said it was pretty cool.
Ooh, now that I haven't seen.
I just want to go to a game. I haven't been to one yet, and I really want to go, but I don't want to freeze. So hopefully,
You better go.
I know that, yeah, the temperatures are going up a little bit next week, though. So.
Next week, yeah, we'll be back in the low 70s by the end of the week. Let's hope that sticks around.
So if you do go,
North Carolina weather.
Cuddle up there. All right, we're coming back. Take a short break, pay some bills. We'll be back.
Well, it's one of the top asked questions meteorologists get this time of year. What kind of winter will it be? What that question really means is, how much snow will we get? For centuries, people have used folklore to predict pending weather. So WFNY News 2's Megan Malaris digs through the claim about the woolly worm.
That sound means it's time to verify. From groundhogs to persimmons, there are so many non-scientific ways to predict what kind of winter we are going to have. The problem is these methods far from perfect track record for accuracy. Viewers Dennis and Jane Durham saw this post circulating Facebook and asked me to verify if it's true. It claims the coloration of the woolly bear caterpillars, also called woolly worms, predict the upcoming winter. If the woolly bear is mostly black, it means a harsher winter. If mostly brown, it means a milder one. If brown at the head with more black near the tail, it means a winter that starts mild and ends harshly. Well, this question is timely as it comes on the heels of North Carolina's annual Woolly Worm Festival in Banner Elk. The organizers there cite the woolly bear's 20-year accuracy streak, and this year the winning woolly predicted a mild winter ahead. To verify, we turn to the National Weather Service and Frank Fowler, biologist with McNeely Pest Control. They conclude that claim is false.
There's been a lot of studies, a lot of folklore about the woolly bear, and no studies have ever concluded that they actually can predict future weather events. However, the coloration and the length of the bands do have a correlation to how severe the previous winter was. When they're born in the spring, they're all black, and the more warm growing season they have, the wider that brown rust-colored band becomes in the middle.
The National Weather Service notes the coloring also indicates the age of the caterpillar. Each time it sheds its coat, it becomes redder. As for why the insects are so furry, Fowler said the coat protects them from freezing down to -90 degrees Fahrenheit. In conclusion, we verified no, woolly bear caterpillars can't predict the upcoming winter, but their coloring can indicate the severity of the previous one. Fowler said the woolly bear is a member of the tiger moth family, and although it's a pest, it's not harmful. In fact, it might do you a favor and eat the weeds in your yard. With your Verify, I'm Megan Malaris.
Well, some of our team members actually had a chance to experience the Woolly Worm Festival this year.
Yeah, this was a big deal. Take a look at this. Two of our producers actually raced a woolly worm in the race there. And you know, from a weather standpoint, I love that they called their worm cold front, because a cold front moved in that weekend while they were in Banner Elk. And when you're in those higher elevations and a cold front comes through, you don't forget that.
Oh, wow. How cute is that? So festival goers can sign up to race a worm. You can bring your own, or you can buy one at the festival to race. Races last all day, and the winning worm decides how the winter will turn out.
So if you haven't seen this before, you got to look up the video because it's really cute. They take the little woolly worms and they put them on strings that they've mounted on that orange sign you saw there. It said woolly worms. They put them on the bottom and they start crawling up that string.
So they're pretty quick. So
yeah,
this isn't like waiting all day to see if it's going to move.
No, it goes up there pretty quickly, and you can see people below, like blowing on them, trying to get them to go.
Does that help?
Yeah, I don't know.
It reminds me of back home. They have a festival called Toad Suck Days, because there's a town called Toad Suck, and you race the toads. So you get down on your hands and knees and you like hit the floor to like scare them to get them to jump. I didn't win with mine.
Festivals out there.
Yeah, it's always so fun to go to that kind of stuff. And
I'm thinking of festivals in North Carolina that I can remember that are unusual. Like there's Mule Days in Benson, North Carolina. And then I know, well, Mayberry Days in Mount Airy is a big deal. I mean, a lot of people go there for the Andy Griffith Show. But some of those stranger named towns, Lizard Lick, North Carolina is the name of the place.
Oh my God.
Isn't there like an acorn drop in Raleigh?
It is in Raleigh,
yeah, okay,
I think.
I've heard
for
about
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
They do the
That
acorn
sounded
drop.
interesting to me.
It's fun.
And they drop the big
Woolly
pickle at Mount
worms.
Olive where the pickles are made. Yes. See, we digress again. This happens all the time.
We just like to talk.
Take a break. We'll be right back.
Why is it officially Friday?
Because
Oh. Oh, I see what you're saying, but first. And
You were like, thanks for watching. Of course I'm going to.
that's not mine.
Hi, Callie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm not criticizing, I was just asking.
Hi, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mic check.
You're dropping. Yeah.
I had to wear a belt in my purse.
So cute. I love the jumpsuit. But
Hello, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, you wish, Callie. Okay, now it's there. Hi there, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania.
Something very jarring happened this week, and it came out of the blue. Something so shocking, it stopped me in my tracks. My parents had their landline disconnected. There was no warning, no ceremonial last call, no nothing. Just a text message from my mom saying they were sick of the spam calls and it wasn't worth it anymore. It was a simple act that caused quite the uproar from their offspring. Immediately, my sister Chelsea responded with the crying emojis and asked, "Why do you guys hate us, LOL?" My other sister Erin was much more animated, responding, "What? No! I need closure. I need to be able to call it once more." But alas, we weren't given that closure. I did call it shortly afterward and got that standard message alerting me that the number had been changed or disconnected. We had that landline since before we were born. It was likely the first number we were ever forced to memorize. I honestly never thought I'd have to part ways with it. It's actually really strange knowing it's no longer ours. If you lived in one place for most of your childhood like I did, you likely remember your phone number. Who knew something so simple could feel like such a loss when it was gone? Our mom tried to offer some comforting words by saying we can still group chat on their cell phones, but it certainly will not be the same. It's going to be a sad day when I have to delete the home contact in my cell phone. So rest in peace, 479-2131. I hope you're as good to your next family as you were to ours. That's just my 2 cents. And your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
Well, it's cold outside right now. We've been through it with some rain and clouds, but it's about to get a lot colder. We're talking about a freeze warning going into your Friday.
Plus, therapy